Hello? Hello, are you there? Hello? Hello, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? So, I was not live yesterday because it was my wife's birthday, and I did list that on my website. So, if anyone went to my website to find out which days I've canceled in advance, you can go see that. You follow this QR code up in the top corner of your screen, or you go to the Linktree link, which is just what the QR code sends you to, linktr.ee at IanTheHRPro. And when you're on my Linktree, you can see there's a link for information about the podcast, and you can see all the dates I've pre-scheduled that I won't be going live. Sorry about any confusion. And thank you very much for the listeners who texted me while I was busy trying to set up for this live to ask me questions. And I diligently took the time and slowed down and answered their questions. So that's why I am 7 minutes late instead of 4 minutes late. Thank you very much for that. I love all my fans and my listeners. Anyway, today is Wednesday, and you are watching. My name is Ian Hopfe. This is the Ian, the HR Pro live podcast, which is dangerously unscripted. See, you can see my anger coming through at the fact that my big sister decided to text me and annoy me in her loving sort of way. Yes, I think all little younger siblings feel this way about their older siblings. So it's okay. I still love her. I do. Wednesday is side gigs, side hustles, aka small business marketing tips, tricks. Maybe we learn some new stuff together. Maybe we don't. Maybe I just bitch and complain about everything and anything. No, I won't do that. Honest, I'll try not to. I'll try to get myself in a better mood. If I can get that tea into me, it will stimulate my brain and put me in a better mood. Yes, absolutely. That's the plan. Notes. I have no idea if we were talking about something interesting last episode because I forgot to go in and check. There were shows where I've been like halfway through something and I'm like, oh, we'll talk about that next week. And then I totally forget. I get show notes on the screen here in the program I use, restream.io. There's no show notes here, but I'm terrible at leaving notes, so maybe that doesn't matter. Is the volume loud enough? Can you hear the atmosphere music loud enough in the background? I'll crank it up a little bit. If you have a question about side gigs, side hustle, small business marketing, let's ask the question by asking it in the comments. Ask your questions in the comments. Every time I go live, you're always free to ask me a question in the comments. Anything HR related, I'll always answer because I'm an HR consultant and I'm a small business owner. So these are things I have to do to market my own business so we can chat about that more often. I got a half-eaten banana here that I'm going to finish eating live on the air. Uh-oh. Here's my... Finally, says my big sister. Thank you for all the love. Cut you off there. Should just disconnect you. Anyway, there's 2 listeners. It's probably my sister and my mom. Thank you. I love you. If it's anyone else, I guess I like you. And we'll just wait. If we go on for a full hour, we'll wait to see if the Twitch spammer dude comes on. It's usually at almost exactly 1 hour on Twitch, where I'm one of the places I'm live streaming. Twitch, Twitter X, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. I go live to those 5 different places, and then afterwards I get nice little clips made by Restream.io, the program I use to stream, and then I share those to other places. It won't let me share my short clips to Twitch, so sadly you Twitch viewers don't get to see. And okay, fine. So the second listener is not my mom, because my sister is listening and they're sitting together beading. They do arts, traditional arts and beading. They got a big, massive order of, what's the word I'm looking for? Poppies for Remembrance Day. So they're working on those. So get back to work. Stop listening to me. Jeez. Head to the grindstone here. So yeah, on Twitch, I don't get to put the little clips, but I do send them to TikTok. So anyone who's on TikTok, you see my clips, but you won't see my lives. Somewhere along the way, I was trying to go live on TikTok, and it said I didn't have permission. I had to apply to go live using this program, Restream.io. If I set up my phone, I bet you I could just go live on TikTok. But I'm trying not to go live with multiple devices, if possible. But that might be worth it. But we'll see. This is all part of my big experiment to post 3 pieces of content every day for 30 days for 3 months. And sorry, just some random email showed up here. Nope, not worth looking at. Sorry, I'm late today. I was late getting up. I was late to get some work done for the organization I volunteer for. Fun times. I find it's important to volunteer when you can, but at the same time, depending on the volunteer organization you're a part of, there's a lot of politics involved. So, a lot of I know better than you know. I think you need 100 followers to go live on TikTok, says Steven. Well, oh, sorry, Stephanie. I think I've got 351 followers on TikTok at this point. So, I don't know. I also have a business account on TikTok. So, there's something going on there that I don't know. I haven't taken the time to do the research to see about doing that. And I would also like to go live on Instagram. But Instagram makes it so hard. Every time I'm about to go live, I've got to log into Instagram. I have to get a special code. Then I got to come back to Restream.io and put it in. I got to put the code in to allow Restream.io to stream to Instagram. I think I managed to do it once. And Stephanie, she says 10,000 and then 1,000. I will get it right. 1,000, she says. 1,000. So, okay. Maybe that's not why I can't go live. That's absolutely a possibility. Fine. If you're on TikTok, you will continue to get just my updates, just the little clips. They're always in the vertical. Isn't there the word? What's the other word for vertical video? My wife, she just came out. Picture? What? Portrait? Portrait, yeah. So it's the skinny stuff, right? That's what Restream.io does, because it's trying to create reels and shorts. I mean, they work well on YouTube, and Oh, my sister's bragging here. I think it's 1,000 followers on TikTok. I have 3,000, but never tried. Wow, God. 3,000 followers. God. You need at least 1,000 followers and be 18 or older to go live on TikTok. You must also be following TikTok's community guidelines and other policies. All right. I think we've figured it out. 1,000 to go live. Fine. I didn't want to go live on TikTok anyway. I don't know if the rules are the same for a business account or not. Because I noticed on TikTok when I'm updating my bio, when I'm updating it from the computer, it doesn't really let me get into the business account side of my profile. And it only lets me do like 80 characters. But when I'm on my phone and I click into the business center, it allows me to do 160. So there's differences. I don't know if that affects going live or not. But it does say, like, when I try to go, I'm clicking on my screen here, looking at my different channels. It says streaming not allowed. And then there's a button that says apply. So I don't know, whatever. I hope it improves for Instagram, because I was trying to go live on Instagram also at the same time. That's fine. I chose to go Twitch anyway. I've got no following. I never use Twitch. I don't know anything about Twitch. But I decided to go live there because it was relatively easy. Now, I'm using Restream.io because I wanted to go live on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is my primary account, social media account. I have over 12,000 connections there, so I wanted to build that. Every other social media, I got very few followers. Earl Grey tea, make my brain. I'm brining my brain. Hopefully it'll make my brain happy, as tea leaves do. That's why the world drinks tea. Yeah, so if you got a small business, I want to hear what you guys are doing to market your small business, no matter what it is. I also, just want to talk about it because I'm trying to steal ideas, man. I need your ideas so I can market my own business. And with the 333 challenge, doing this content every day, the Restream.io is really helping me, because I can go live and then it creates those shorts and I can post the shorts. And it does allow me to do some editing with the shorts. It's just kind of clunky because it's in the browser. So that's fine. And the idea is to do it for at least 3 months. Well, I've kind of ramped up my advertising. So I started going live on like just 2 or 3 platforms. And then I wanted to go on. I think Restream only allowed me to do 2 or 3 with the basic version. So I upgraded. Basically, I upgraded twice. I upgraded once so that I could do 5 at once, and I upgraded again. It's kind of an add-on to allow me to do the viral clips. That's what it's called, viral clips. So the AI takes clips out of my live and creates them. I have a full-time day job, but evenings and weekends, I am a leathersmith. Ooh, very cool, Stephanie. Leathersmith. When I was a kid, I got a leatherworking kit for Christmas, and I enjoyed it. It had like those curved tools that you could cut into the leather and basically draw stuff on the leather. But it also felt dangerous because those were sharp tools, and I don't know, I enjoyed it, but I didn't get into it. And I think when I was a kid, it's not like we had a lot of resources. So it's not like I could go out and buy like a ton of leather and start my leather smithing career. That's awesome, Stephanie. I'd love to see some of your work sometimes. Are you like just making shoes, or do you put artwork on there? I mean, that's neat stuff. Although I think anything artistic is neat, neat, and kind of these old timey skills. When I'm doom scrolling, I tend to see these shorts where the cobblers are repairing shoes, putting new soles on shoes and stuff like that. I really enjoy watching that. Also looks really dangerous with that big sewing machine that they use to put in them big stitches around the sole. That's kind of scary. Cough, cough. It just seems like every day this fall, my allergies are acting up. And man, just coughing. Post-nasal drip. It's just making me choke on boogers. Exciting. That's not something I should be sharing on the show. I'm sorry. You don't... What did I ask her? You don't have anything to share to show? I think that's a big thing. If you've got some sort of small business, crafting business or something, I think the most important thing is showing what you're doing. And have you ever seen those time-lapse videos, especially like the bushcraft videos where someone where they're like building a little house, little hut in the forest, and the camera just sits there and it watches them build it? I mean, I think that would be neat for anyone, especially any artisan or something like that. If you're a painter, small business, and you're painting things, I mean, setting up that camera just to watch you paint, I think that would be an amazing, you make a 30-second video and it's just you painting. That's cool. I don't tool the leather. I make belts, wallets, knife sheaths, dog collars, etc. I just picked up a laser engraver and sewing machine. Ooh, new tools. I love new tools. So exciting. I hope you can make all kinds of cool stuff, Stephanie. I mean, if anybody's got the need for a wallet, like my current wallet is a terrible, terrible mess. I picked up this wallet, I believe, at a leather store in the mall. It's always a leather store in the mall, right? You pick up your leather clothing and your leather suitcase. Yes, I've created a few videos of what I make, the process. I just don't have the right setup. The right setup for what, Stephanie? Like the right setup to video things, or the right setup to do your craft? What's the right setup? I know with me having to go live, I basically moved this desk a little more forward. I'm right beside the window almost now. And my right setup was getting a hold of this tripod selfie stick where my little light goes on that I recharge, and this holds my phone. I mean, that's kind of the right setup for me to allow me to get these lives done. So I got this light on the other side, because the light from the window can be really overpowering. So I got to make sure there's a strong light on this side too, so I look good on both sides. But I just picked up this color light back here that's between the picture. It's behind the picture of me and my wife, and it can change all kinds of colors. Comes with this cool remote control, so I can turn it on and off. I can choose a color. I can put a timer on it so it'll go out after a number of hours. And then of course I have this other light. The light bulb burnt out and I put a new light bulb in, and this thing is like 7 suns blowing, trying to burn the room. So I had to move the cactus in front of it. That's a stuffed cactus. Anyway, I tried to make a nice setup behind me. It just looked like a gobbledygook mess. It still looks bad. I don't know. Some of my favorite books are up in there. Maybe I gotta build a shelf in here or something. Anyway, I had to like create a studio. And I'm just using my laptop. It shakes now and again. Do you see that? It's shaking. It's on a little stand frame. So when I'm typing, my fingers are up like this. And that's right in front of them. And I moved my microphone. We had gotten these Blue Yeti microphones. And I just recently got the pop screen so that my screeches and yells don't overpower. Yeah, the video, Stephanie says. I just use my phone. I will invest in Meta glasses someday. Ooh. I'm not sure what those are, but I assume that something like this and has a camera so you can watch with your hands. I know a lot of people that go live on Whatnot and they're selling stuff. They have the little tripod right in front of them, like at their chest, and they're working. It would be like if I had the microphone right in front of me and I was typing on my computer. You can't really see that, but there's my microphone, and these are my hands down at the laptop, right? They have it so it's just set up in front of them, and they put stuff out in front of their camera, and it's like you're wearing a body camera. I do have one of those tripods, but I move around a lot when working on leather. Well, yeah, I guess that's where you kind of just got to decide on what your setup's going to be and where you're going to be. Maybe just film a couple minutes, and then you could splice that together in editing, and then speed up the whole thing, and you kind of just have clips, different parts, different sections of the job. Yeah, I guess maybe you might have a fairly big craft room and have kind of different stations where you're doing different things. I'm not exactly sure what you would need, but the phone camera is really actually a great place to start. Now, I just lucked out because I had to have a computer for my work, for my company. I do a lot of typing and emailing and whatnot, so I'm just using the camera on my laptop. But when I do go live, like on Fridays, when I do the social selling on Whatnot, I've been setting up the live on this last time, and that was up on the tripod beside me, and I moved the light to a different spot. It's almost like I need another tripod just for my light. But cameras have phones have great cameras nowadays, as long as your phone's fairly new. We purchased it's not here. We purchased a Canon DSLR camera over 10 years ago. Now it's probably closer to 15 years. Amazing camera, takes amazing photos, and makes me look like a good photographer because the camera does all the work. Man, like easy peasy. I could set that up. The problem is, I think the camera on my phone is the same or better than that actual camera. So, that actual digital Canon camera. So, I could bring that out, and that could be a second camera for me. I just don't know how it connects to my computer right now, because I know with Restream.io, if it detects another camera, I could have another camera set up, and it even wanted to connect to my phone camera. So I think I could set up a second camera if I wanted to. That would be neat. My sister says, I bought one of those ring lights and it broke. Wah, wah. Oh, stupid cats. So hopefully my little bro thinks of me at Christmas. Anyway, I have done vids facing down on the area I'm assembling. No fine details. So, yeah, if you had a tripod and you were able to bend the neck over, and I think with this tripod here that I had purchased, this piece here bends down, and then you would position your camera above your workspace, and you can see it's now like this, pretending my light is the camera. So this is pretty nifty. Can't remember how much I purchased it for on Amazon. Might have been like $30 or something, 30 bones. Let's put this back up. So yeah, it's also got a little remote button so that when I press it, I could use it to start recording on my phone if I Bluetooth the button. I feel like my light's too high. Anyway, fingered it out. So yeah, it broke. It was the cat's fault. It wasn't a product issue. This little light's pretty neat. It's just a square light. I might get another one, especially if I'm like going live at night in the dark. Then I could put the camera on the other, or the light on the other side. But I think with basic lighting, it's like you do a light that floods the room, you do a light that's off center, and you do one that's a little more. Anyway, I looked it up once. I don't remember. I just know when I have the light off, I'm dark on this side of my face. This is the natural light coming in from the window, and I don't have the blinds all the way up right now. It is a cloudy day. That's a little bit higher. So this is what it would be like without the light. Still pretty reasonable. I think what I would do is I would move my desk this way, and I would have my computer in front of the window so that the light was directly shining on me. But I don't want to be looking out the window that much. So that's what the light. That's more better. So, and I like, you watch those YouTube videos and they've got some sort of light in the background. I mean, I started off with this light. Maybe I could turn that off and just leave the colored light, but I need something to illuminate back there. But some studios, it's really dark back there and they have like a dim light kind of just facing like this and showing it up real nice. It was the neck that broke, so I've got it tied up. The light still works. All right, the cats broke the neck on the ring light. And I think the purpose of the ring light is to make sure that your camera's in the middle of the ring light so that it kind of, the light goes all around your face so you can see your whole face, so there's no shadows and things like that. I think that's the purpose of the ring light. And you see a lot of creators using it, especially when they're doing like makeup tutorials and things like that. Ring gets that face. I like the square. I'm not doing makeup, doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, I was gonna say they're pretty cheap, but $30-40 could be a pretty big expense. So I think if you're just starting out, it's too peoply outside. My sister says, close the shade. No, I'm looking into the neighbor's backyard, 2 neighbors' backyard, and my neighbor just has this amazing garden, and he's winterized it. He's got the leaves covering up his different beds, especially the ones where he's got like his like onions and things like that grow over winter. Or the bulbs, they have bulbs in the ground. So, and then the other neighbor's yard, which is a little bit of a jungle, but they have like 2 or 3 fruit trees. So it's actually nice looking out the window at that. Not today. It is a gray fall, no leaves left. There's one tree out here with leaves, and they've all gone a light yellow, a little bit of green, but the rest are just gone. No leaves. Dreary. So we were talking about, yeah, you got to make some content, but try to keep it simple. Man, keep it simple. Even if it's just a 30-second video of you saying, hey, I'm working on this project today. I'll show you later and see how far we are, right? You just started. I'm gonna make this thing. I'm gonna do this thing just to let you know, and then I'll give you an update. See how far I get in a couple hours, right? Then you make a quick little short video and you're like, look at how far I got. I almost got it done. I'll have to finish it up tomorrow for you though. Good night. Right? Even if it's just those short little videos. And video seems to be a great way to generate stuff. Now, it takes a long time. The algorithms need to understand that you're a frequent poster. They start giving you a little bit of respect that way. But the algorithms are also trying to figure out who your viewers are. And finding out who your viewers are, I think the algorithms all work a little bit different on every platform. Because I know when I post on LinkedIn, my average post is getting anywhere from 50 to 200 impressions. So 50 to 200 people were scrolling through LinkedIn and my post went by. Not if they stopped and watched it or anything like that, but only up to 200 people had an opportunity to see it. I have 12,000 connections. 12,000 people on LinkedIn are directly connected to me. First level connections. Most of them are in Edmonton, Alberta, and Canada. Why, if it was based on connections and followers, I should get almost 12,000 impressions on every one of my posts, because that means all 12,000 of my connections had an opportunity to view it, but they don't. 50 to 200 of the 12,000 connections I have had an opportunity to see it. This was on LinkedIn. Now that is because the algorithms are trained to what you are looking at. So I could be connected with Stephanie on LinkedIn. That's where she was commenting from. We could be first level connections. I think we probably are. But that, like, why isn't more people seeing it? So I have noticed that there is occasionally people commenting on my content that I'm not connected with. Right? I don't know who the heck they are, but they made a comment or they shared it. Right? So my content is being shown to people who want my content, not the people that have connected with me. So Stephanie saw the live today and decided to follow or to listen or whatever. Great. But that's because her algorithm, she trained it to like something, my content related to it, right? So, and that's different on all platforms a little bit, right? My sister says, you don't even got to use your voice. I just use text. That's totally fine. You create the little short video and put a caption on it. This is what we're doing today, And that's, what do they call that? A faceless channel. And that is just, yeah. Yeah. Yes, LinkedIn, Stephanie. I can see where everybody is commenting from. My sister's commenting from YouTube. Stephanie's commenting from LinkedIn. With my app that I'm using, the Restream.io, it is allowing me to see the chat from all the different places. And there might be a lag. My sister Joy, she noticed that when she's on her phone, it takes longer for the chat to appear to me. And when she's on her computer, it's quicker. Right? So there's different weird things. But if you look at TikTok and I think YouTube. So on YouTube, you have a subscribers list. And on TikTok, you have a followers list. So on TikTok, you have the For You page. And you can click over and see your followers, what your followers are posting. Or the people you follow. Excuse me, sorry. So you see that. You can see all this content that the people you follow are posting. But the For You page is the algorithm learning what you like. So you will see stuff on there that you liked, that you have trained the algorithm that you like. So someone who says, I'm not seeing my friend's stuff on here. Well, that's because you're on the For You page and not on the follower section that you'll see all the people you follow, what they're posting. And there's something similar in YouTube when you're doing the search. Well, I know when you're in the app, you kind of click on your profile and you can click on subscribers. Let me double check this. Somebody's at our front door. Somebody's ringing the bell at our front door. I have no idea. I think it's someone from my mother-in-law. So, when you go into YouTube and, okay, just right there at the bottom of the YouTube app. So you're at the home page, and that's stuff I'm interested in. So there's a lot of marketing stuff. Sometimes there's political stuff. There's space news type stuff that I like to read. Anyway, that shows up there. But when you click on the subscription button, this takes you can see all the people you follow across the top. You can see all-time videos, today's videos. So this is just the people I follow. That's what they're doing. But it's like a totally different experience, right? Because it's not showing me stuff that I like. It's showing me stuff from the people that I've subscribed to. So if you're, I've seen this so many times on different platforms. I've been shadow banned. Nobody can see my stuff. Well, it means nobody's interested in your stuff. Not to be rude, but the people that you've connected with, they've programmed the algorithm that they like different stuff than stuff that you're producing, the content you're creating. And so it's not a shadow ban. It's the way the algorithm works. So yes, you do this cry out and say, I've been shadow banned, and people start liking your content again, and maybe a few more of your followers will start seeing your content more. What you need to do is just start producing more content and kind of stretching out a little bit with the content. So I'm an HR consultant. On Mondays, I talk about HR, and it's just straight up HR. And on Tuesdays, I talk about Indigenous allyship, Indigenous relations. One, because I'm Indigenous. Two, because Indigenous EDI stuff, equity, diversity, and inclusion stuff, is a subset of HR. So it's still in my realm, but I've expanded out to that stuff. Wednesdays, today, talking about side gigs, side hustles, and small business marketing, because talking about side gigs and side hustles is an extension of HR, because I try to help people get jobs, right? I want to help people build a better career, and that's still in HR. And the small business marketing side of today's topic is because I'm a small business and I want to help other small businesses, or I want to learn what other small businesses are doing. So that's what's happening today. Thursday, I'm not acting like I'm helping small business people. On Thursday, I'm helping employees. I'm helping them get jobs. I'm helping them improve their resumes and cover letters and the job search and how to get better promotions, right? I'm helping the other side of the HR spectrum. I'm not helping small business owners and managers. I'm not helping the employees and potential employees and just the people trying to get jobs, right? Because in my career, I've seen thousands of resumes come into jobs, and I've had to review them and vet them and make a decision on who the hiring manager should interview. So that's why I help with resumes on Thursday. And on Friday, it's kind of like Wild West. It's fun and games. I talk about board games, Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering. I do the live social selling. I think I'm trying to set it up so it's every second week I do the live social selling. And it's my random day to kind of hit random topics that I wouldn't normally hit while on Monday talking about HR. With my 333 challenge, one of the aspects is when you're creating your content, try to be random, aka just going outside of what you would normally be posting. So if someone sees one of my videos on Friday about Dungeons and Dragons, okay, that's got nothing to do with HR. But someone sees that and says, hey, this guy's got some funny content about Dungeons and Dragons. And then they click on my links and they're like, oh, this guy's an HR consultant. And I'm like, that's funny stuff. I like HR. I got a small business. I like Dungeons and Dragons. So, and I got a small business. I might use him sometime. I mean, if you're looking at two possible consultants that you want to use, whether it's HR or finance or whatever consultant you're looking at in this industry, maybe a coach, business coach, or whatever, are you going to choose the random person you know nothing about? Or are you going to choose this person, this Ian, who's an HR consultant, but he loves Dungeons and Dragons, and you love Dungeons and Dragons? That's the connection, right? So we try to see if we can reach out just a little bit into these other topics that will catch people and bring people in. So if I make a piece of content about Dungeons and Dragons and it goes viral, okay, right now most of my videos and things like that, especially on YouTube, are getting when I'm thinking of the shorts are getting anywhere from 50 to 1,500 views. So if they're in that range, I don't consider that to go viral. I mean, I'm depressed when a short gets like 8 views. I'm like, what's up with that? I mean, if they could all get around 1,000, that would be awesome. But if I had a short on YouTube get to 10,000, 50,000 views, that's me going viral. So whatever your normal is, you've got to, if you're getting 10,000 views on your content every day, and your new content always gets 10,000 views in the first few hours, that's normal for you. So you would have to wait till you get 100,000, 200,000, maybe 1,000,000 views on a particular video, and that's the one you're going viral. If you're getting 5 or 6 views on your video, your viral video is something that's going to 1,000 to 5,000, right? Like it's subjective. So going viral doesn't mean you get 25 million views. That's not going viral. It depends. 25 million views might be not good for someone like Mr. Beast, right? Who should be getting, 100 million views or something on all his content. So you, the little guy, the little business, figure out what your going viral is. And you will see what that does. So that viral video I made, that was about Dungeons and Dragons. That has nothing to do with Dungeons and Dragons. But, 1,000,000 people see my viral videos. Yay! Okay, right on. Well, that doesn't mean 1,000,000 people are going to suddenly be my customers. No. Maybe 10% of the 1,000,000 people are small business owners that would be interested in my stuff. And maybe only half of them, like 5%, or even 1% of that 10%, right? So, or 1% of the whole 1,000,000, right? That means you've got, what's 1% of 1,000,000? Is that 100,000 or is that 10%? That's 10%. 1% would be 1,000, I think. Anyway, so let's say 1,000 people out of this viral video were actually interested in getting HR consulting services, right? So that's 1,000 people that saw my unrelated, Dungeons and Dragons post, but they go to my website anyway. So that's 1,000 people that wouldn't have gone there anyway if I hadn't gone viral, right? That's the nature of virality. So then now your sales pages and things like that, it starts working into the conversion rates and all that. But if I get 1,000 people to my sales pages, especially to my $7 ebook, would I expect 1,000 people to purchase it? No, there's going to be a certain conversion rate. It's probably going to be like 10 people purchase it, so I'll make $70. But now they're in my funnel. The initial $7 ebook directs them to a $40 ebook, which directs them to consulting services. So after you start getting, you gotta wait till you get 100 sales on that at the start of that sales funnel to see how good the rest of your conversions are, right? And I would expect it to be lower from that viral non-HR related video, but they still came. The virality still happened. And the algorithms, like I mentioned earlier, they are constantly trying to figure out who your people are, where your people at, who are the people interested in your content. So I think that's why it takes so long for someone to go viral. You hear about these people that takes them, 6 months to 3 years before they actually start getting any real action. I took a course on blogging and how to make YouTube videos, and they talk about the hockey stick. So you're going months, years, and then finally the algorithms say, yeah, so you get this hockey stick with your views. And that's where you found the algorithm has figured you out and your content. And they specifically teach stay in your lane, develop that niche market, make it as narrow as possible so that you know exactly who you're making your content for. But we hear other people saying that you need to just get on every platform and you need to talk about everything and you just need to branch out, right? So I think there's a mix in there, a happy medium that you could go with. Kind of at the start, choose where you think your customers are going to be hanging out. So, Stephanie, your customers are probably not on LinkedIn for your leatherworking. Joy, your customers are also probably not on LinkedIn for your arts and crafts, right? So you got to think about other places that are maybe more visual. Pinterest, very visual, very artsy stuff, very home decor, home decoration, designs type stuff. If you want to show off some stuff, that's a good place. Instagram is all about photos of stuff and reels about stuff. But if you're just posting a lot of photos, you want to be on Instagram because it's more photo based, still certainly arts based. So definitely a space where you want to be in. Excuse me. So my business, HR consulting, boring, wah wah, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is my primary place where my customers are going to be. But I'm looking for small businesses. So Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter X. There's business owners all over those platforms, right? They're all over. So for me, it makes sense that I'm on multiple platforms because I know the owners are there. I know. No, they're not. So Stephanie is posting her leatherworking projects on Instagram and Pinterest. That's where her people are. Joy is putting her arts and crafts stuff on the same platforms, possibly also on Facebook, right? Like you kind of, where's the people? Where are your people at? And I think the mother of all social platforms really is YouTube. So if you are on any other platform, that's fine. If that's where your people might be. But all my lives, all my videos, all my shorts / reels, they're all on YouTube. They've all been uploaded there. This program, Restream.io, and make sure everything gets put onto yeah, TikTok's a great place for that stuff. Tickle in my throat. Joy says Facebook and Instagram and TikTok for me. Absolutely, do it. Stephanie says Instagram and TikTok. Yeah, do it. Joy says he needs to focus on YouTube, but just haven't. That's the difficult part. When I was first starting this, I was just like, I gotta make these shorts. I create the short. I put it on YouTube. I put it on LinkedIn. I'm putting it on my Facebook business page. And then I was kind of ignoring Twitter because of the whole Elon is crazy thing. And then I was starting to do on TikTok. Man, you know how long it takes to post on all these platforms after you created a video? I create the video, it's like 30 seconds long, and I'm just talking about HR, whatever I'm talking about. And then I gotta spend like the next hour putting it onto the different platforms. And because you're basically doing a little edit on every platform. You're adding music, you're adding your captions, things like that. It is very hard to do that. Now, I've got this music on in the background here. I'm assuming it is royalty-free sounds and music that I have on this platform, because nothing has been in violation of a sound issue, right, on any of the platforms I'm posting to. So it's hard for me to go into TikTok, create my video. TikTok automatically makes a copy of your video and saves it to your phone. And I thought, oh, this is great. Then I can throw it up on all the other platforms. Well, the problem is a sound that is licensed to be on TikTok might not be licensed on all these other platforms. So then you start getting the violations. So I'm like, oh my God. So it's not helpful. I mean, and nobody enjoys watching a video on YouTube Shorts that has the little TikTok logo embedded in it, right? Like, just, I think it's better if you take that raw image and you put it in that raw video and you put it yourself. But Restream.io, God, I need like an affiliate program for Restream.io. I talk about it all the time. It's a tool that's allowing me to post all this stuff to multiple places easily. And I'll end this live, and then it takes 15 to 30 minutes, usually about 20 minutes, to sift through it and create the shorts. And it usually gives me 5 every time. And that's awesome. And then I click on share in this app, and I have pre-chosen all the places I want to share it, and it's just like I'm adding in the title, and YouTube also allows you to put a longer description in. So I just quickly make sure that those are all under the limit or whatever, and then I send it. Then it posts it. It's 5-10 minutes. It's posted that one video on 5 or 6 platforms. I'm gonna take a break. I need to take a break. Washroom break. I'll be back in a couple minutes. So everybody take a break. Everybody take a break. I do have the be right back. I'm going to put that up. Ta-da! Be right back. And I'm going to make sure my microphone is turned off. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm back. I'm back like Backstreet, baby. So, what I was talking about with YouTube, right? YouTube is collecting all this stuff for me. All my videos, all my lives, it's all there. All the videos I actually make, which are harder. You record it, you edit it, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I was in a rush to get back. Now I got something in my throat. Breathe, breathe. Sometimes I wish I could edit my live, but I can't. But I also like the fact that I can just babble on about stuff. People won't listen. Anyway, so everything is there on YouTube and it's being collected. It's basically turned into evergreen content. It's always going to be there. Whereas on the other social medias, it might only kind of stay relevant for a short time. And that's why you have to post a lot. On the other social medias, you have to post a lot. Pinterest is also different. Pinterest is a search engine just like YouTube is. So you go to YouTube and you type in how to fix my hot water heater. Right, that was a search. Now you get a bunch of videos come up. The first one is probably this old house that's been on YouTube for like 26 years or however long. Everybody remembers this old house. The old TV show where the guys would go around and teach you how to do repairs and things around your house and insulate your basement or whatever. They did everything and they continue to do everything, make content, right? It was a search. The same thing with Pinterest. You type in do black blinds go with orange flowers, right? And you get all these photos of black blinds and orange flowers and stuff about design, right? That are related to your query, right? That kind of becomes evergreen content also. A lot of bloggers have found a lot of success with Pinterest depending on the topic of their blog, especially if it's a design related blog or something like that. So the leatherworking could work, right? The indigenous art crafts could work on Pinterest, but YouTube is a bigger place. These are both search engines, and every other social media is fleeting. A tweet on Twitter X, I think the life of it is like 5 minutes, right? Like it's gone. Unless someone actually goes to your profile and looks at you, nobody's ever going to see that content again. I think TikTok is similar, but TikTok seems to, a piece of viral content seems to take its rounds and then comes back again. But again, a lot of content will not get seen again unless someone clicks on your profile and goes to look at what you've posted. So Instagram, it's similar to that. The life of an Instagram post, I don't know, a couple hours, maybe, right? At that point, again, they got to go to your profile and just look at your stuff. Unless something's going viral and then it sits there for a while and moves around, right? Facebook is also like that. Yes, everything stays on your profile or on your business profile. But again, it only has this short life. Whereas something where you really do a lot of searches, YouTube, Pinterest, where you're actually searching for something. And I think on other platforms, you kind of don't know how to search, or it's not something you think of. It's not something that you've related to the search. Like with LinkedIn marketing, I could go up to the search bar and I could type in HR consulting, and it will show me every post or person or company or group, and I can filter for that related to that. So I would see the most recent posts about HR consulting, and I could continue scrolling through that and see that. But again, it's only if I'm doing the search, and I don't think a lot of people search on some of these social medias because they haven't identified it as a search. You get on YouTube, you immediately search for Predator Badlands trailer, right? That's a search, man. Then you catch a video of me and it's like, I'm going to walk you through the new trailer and tell you what I think about it, right? You'll see the video. But sorry, still choking on something here. So I would consider something, depending on your industry, I would consider Pinterest and YouTube as your archive, right? And it's someplace where your evergreen content that you made 3 years ago could easily pop up on a new search now, right? So it's always building your content and it stays there in the stack. It's just like you purchase a whole bunch of books, it's always going to be there. If I want to reread one of these books, like the 1 Minute Millionaire with the Purple Spine, yeah, I can grab it and go read it. Oh, sorry, boogers. That's none of your business. Anyway, so it's saving it and it's stacking it. And when you think about something like YouTube, YouTube wants your content to be found. because more of your content that is found, viewed, and consumed, the more people stay on YouTube, so that more ads can be shown to you, and YouTube makes money. So they want people to create good content. So when you're creating content on YouTube, it kind of goes through these cycles, right? And depending if you're making more content and how the content's related to each other, or if it's not related to each other, it goes through these cycles, and YouTube says, this video from Ian about Dungeons and Dragons, I'm going to go share it out today, see if anybody looks at it, see if anybody interacts with it. And it's like a 500 view test, right? And the YouTube algorithm is like, nobody's really interested in that. Nobody clicked or commented, so we're going to leave that for now. We're going to try this other video that Ian created on Mighty Mouse, right? And we're going to share that, right? So the algorithm kind of just rotates through your stuff. And I think it'll go back to old stuff if your new stuff starts to pop off a little bit. So, this new video Ian made on Magic the Gathering cards, it's popping off. Well, those people still might be interested in the Mighty Mouse or the Dungeons and Dragons content Ian made. So we're gonna also pop that in there to see if they like it, right? So the algorithm, it wants you to win. It's not shadow banning you. In reality, you're just not making good enough content, or it's just content that people aren't interested in. So with YouTube, so I've been going hard now. I think this live says 11. That's number 11. That's the 11th Wednesday that I've gone live to talk about side gigs, side hustles. So that's how I'm organizing everything. So I want to open up my YouTube stats, and I'm going to show you where we are as of the end of October. So I'm going to open up this this folder, and I updated it. Not folder. Jeez. I'm opening my YouTube stats, which are on a spreadsheet, an Excel sheet. So I'm going to share that. So can you see that? Oh yeah, you can see it pretty good. Okay, so these are my stats. I've made a nice chart across the bottom. It is all my views. So you can see views in January was 325 views, because I made one short and one video, so my account got a little action. And then February, March, April, and May, I made no videos. And my views went down. My worst views this year was in May. I only got 65 views on all my videos on YouTube, right? This here, YouTube stats. So I actually lost a subscriber in March, right? So I started 2025 off with 82 pieces of content on my YouTube channel. I think most of them were probably my shorts, because they were easier. Not those shorts, you perverts. My YouTube shorts, YouTube short videos, I think because they're kind of easier to quickly to make or whatever. But each year for like the last 2-3 years, every January I get into this spurt and I try to create some YouTube videos. And so I think 2023 and 2024 I made like 10 to 20 videos right at the start of the year, and then like didn't do anything for the rest of the year. Because it's hard work just making those videos. I'm spending a lot of time doing lives in the last few months because it's easy. It's easy for me. I'm just going live, I'm talking about something, and you're seeing it dangerously unscripted and raw, me coughing, my boogers, whatever, right? You're seeing it all. And then I can quickly make some shorts. So when we look at June, is that showing up? Is it highlighting when I go in there? I think so. Yeah, it highlights. Okay, good. So we look at June. I made one long form video and I made 11 shorts. And I was kind of doing these manually and I was posting those everywhere. So I was up to 96 pieces of content, 96 videos. And my views went up to 8,600. Right? My watch time went up. I got 10.7 watch time. But I only got one subscriber. My highest video at that time got 1,800 views. I am just choking on something. I got allergies, postnasal strip, a drip. Big shout out to my mother for that. I love you. Anyway, my dad also had a really runny nose, and he used to carry around the hankies and blow his nose all the time. So I think I got the worst of both worlds when it comes to my parents' allergy postnasal drip situation. Anyway, that's going to be a clip that's going to go viral probably. So then in July I continued to try to make the videos, trying to get back into the groove, but I only managed to make 2. But I did make 19 shorts, but my views went down. Right? My views went to 4,600. Boo! Then in August, you can see I did 5 lives. I think that was the last week of August. I did 5 lives in a week, every day. And with that, I created 8 shorts. Now, this is before I upgraded my Restream.io account. So I was going live, but it wasn't generating the clips for me, the short clips. So I was trying to create the clips extra. 5 lives and 8 shorts, my views went down. 3,500 views. But I got 6 new followers. I mean, that's a win, right? That's a win. So September, I am now, at the end of September, I'm up to 266 videos. So I went from 82, remember, at the start of this year. Now I've got 266 pieces of content. That's because I upgraded my Restream.io. I did 19 lives in September, and that generated 108 shorts. I think there was a bunch of shorts I was still doing outside of my viral clips that Restream would generate for me. So I did a few extra. I think right now, with my account with Restream, it allows me to generate or post 100 shorts with the money I'm paying. So the 8, probably 8 plus, I was doing a more manual video. And I created 9 videos because some of the shorts I was creating were longer than the 60 seconds. So YouTube classified them as long form. They were like 3-4 minutes. They were very short, but it was still the skinny videos. It was still just me talking into my phone. But that month, I jumped from 130 pieces of content to 266 pieces of content. I got 42 42,000 views. That's this top point right here. 42,000 views. 97.9 watch time. These are watch hours. People watched 98 hours of my content. Crazy. Suckers. Fools. Who wants to endure this all the time? It's a voice only my mother can love. Thank you. As they say, I have a voice for TV. Anyway, so, and I gained 44 subscribers in September. This was me creating just a ton of new content, and just like it just went crazy. Like that's a crazy. Okay, that's a crazy amount. That's like boop, insane. So, yeah, crazy. October, I did 19 lives, the same as September, but that it only generated 88 shorts for me. I don't know why I was behind on shorts. I think I was getting lazy. And I created one long form video that I scripted, recorded, and edited myself. I did one, I think that was last Sunday. That was right at the end of the month. I was going to try to do one a week. Oh, but along with doing all this, the lives, I mean, that's a lot of work. So I ended September with just shy of 35,000 views. Not as much as September. Oh, I ended October with 35,000 views. Not as much as September with the just shy of 43,000 views. So, but you can see the spike here. 34,900 views. So, I hope with my new content creation, I'm going to be sticking around the 30 to 40,000 mark for the next few months, before I generate enough viable content where I will start getting into some just amazing views, 100,000 plus views a month. But I'm not expecting to get more than 30 to 40 for the next few months. So we're gonna finish off November strong like this, and we're gonna do December. Now, I wanted to do just as a 3-month test, so that would have been the end of August, end of September, end of October. So it would be technically the end of November that I will have been doing this for 3 months, full months. But I also, with the shorts, I kind of, and the different channels I was using, expanding the number of channels. So I'm going to try to extend this whole thing. I'm going to go to like my birthday in February, something like that. So I'll have November, December, January, and February. So that's another 4 months on top of this. So I will have been trying to do this for about 7 months, I think. So we're not even halfway. Your best day, my sister. Your best day was probably when me and Mom was live with you. Probably. Because I got my mom and my sister on the live and they talked about their stuff. Probably. I had a guest on my live podcast. 2 guests in one show. So that's awesome. And that's good. Hopefully that's going to happen more. I'll get more guests. Like, Stephanie, if you ever wanted to jump on the show sometime, we could talk about your leather crafting on Fridays. Right? That's the fun and games day. We'll talk about anything on that day. But you could also come on this Wednesday and we'll talk about what you do to advertise stuff. Right? So I mean, I do end up during the day, so maybe you only want to jump on for half an hour during your lunch hour. Because I had thought when I started to do this live was like a lunch and learn type thing. During the day, you could get your lunch and listen to me at least for a little while. And that's kind of where my thought process was, why I'm doing this in the middle of the afternoon. I'm missing my lunch hour every day. I got a banana that's been sitting here going brown beside me. It's half eaten, right? But I also drive my wife to work in the mornings, and I pick her up after work in the afternoons on a normal week. She's off this week, but so I very much want to spend as much time as possible with my wife. So an evening show kind of turned me off, right? But that's me, that's personal, right? Stephanie, who's doing her work in the evenings, maybe you take an hour each evening or once a week or something like that. Just pick some sort of schedule. I'm going pretty extreme by doing a live every work day, right? That's a little bit extreme, but I'm just tired of being poor, right? So so Stephanie, maybe you're like, I'll go live every Friday evening and I'll show my work for the week, and I'll show the current project I'm on, and I'll talk about the new website I'm launching and how you can purchase all my stuff on Etsy or wherever you might be putting it for sale. Or you might just have, like on my video here, I got all my links, QR code, and that could be just going to PayPal link that says buy a belt from me, it's X amount of dollars, and they'll just send you money through PayPal and you get the money and you ship them the belt or whatever, right? So get creative like that. And I know my sister's doing similar stuff with her Facebook group, but she also goes to the farmers markets and things like that and sets up a table. So maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you don't want to be that active, right? So I like to think about Stephanie and her small business. Well, she's just got to take pictures and post videos about her stuff. Okay, so I just want to finish out this. So I started off with 82 pieces of content on Facebook. I've created 292 pieces, not on Facebook, YouTube. 292 pieces of content just in the last couple of months here, right? So I've got a total of 374 pieces of content. Now, I've heard through the different training courses I've taken on YouTube and blogging and stuff I've heard from marketing experts like Gary Vee, things like that, right? And this is kind of a mashup of all that stuff. So you need to try to be consistent as much as possible, and that's why I'm doing this I try to do every day. My website says when I'm not going to be here, so sorry about that. From what I've heard, it takes 300 to 500 pieces of content, whether blogging or YouTubing, before you start getting the hockey stick and start actually getting views and possibly getting customers and clients and people buying your stuff or whatnot. So the life of my YouTube channel, I've not been consistent. I'd put in like 5 to 20 pieces of content for the start of the last couple of years, and that's it. But not at the start of this year. I did one. Last fall, I was concentrating on ads, and I basically maxed out my business credit card and just wasted all kinds of money learning ads on Facebook, and just lost a lot of money. Ads didn't work for me. And that's because I'm not an expert in content yet. Ignore ads. Don't spend money on ads until you have a piece of content that pops off. Looking at my top videos, I would have to say none of these have popped off. None of these videos are worthy of me saying, I'm going to boost that in some way, or I'm going to start making more content similar to that, right? It still feels like YouTube is just testing my content. As soon as I get one to 10,000 or 50,000 views, that's the one I'm going to start doing more content like that, similar to that. And I'm going to either repurpose it, or I'm just going to put some money into it and say, yeah, let's spend $100 over the next week to advertise this video, right? Get some more views on it. That's the only time I'm going to do it now. Whereas I was trying to test my creative, so I'd have to make like 5 different ads with 5 different pieces of creative, the photos, the images, but all the text and everything's the same, right? So we go through and we figure out which content gets the most clicks, and we drop off the old stuff and we create some new stuff related. But I'm spending money the whole time. The money is being spent, man. And we should be going through that testing before we put any money into ads. So this is the point of this, me creating all this tons of content, is that as soon as I find one that pops off, that's the one I'm going to be spending some money on. And hopefully, when I find that piece of content that's really doing well, or the first one, I'm also making money in some way, shape, or form from all my links up at the top of the screen, or getting consulting business, people buying my ebook, maybe people going to buy a t-shirt from me from TeePublic with some of my crappy artwork. Right? Hopefully something starts happening at that point. And yeah, so that's why I'm putting everything onto YouTube, because it is sitting there waiting to get ready. Because in 5 years, someone is still going to type in, how do I hire my first employee? And they're going to find a video where I talk about hiring your first employee. I don't know if I've created it. I've still got to create it. But I mean, that's the thing. It's some older video, but it's still relevant to the person doing the search. So if you can create some evergreen content, I mean, that's great too. I might say, it's good that you got the content where it's showing you doing what you do, but you might also want to get into educational version of that. This is how we start this project, and you can see how we've done it like this, whatever. We did this thing, we did this loop, and that's how you start it, right? And it's short, it's simple, but it is the education side of things. And that's something I want to get into too. Eventually, I want to create a course about becoming a proper manager and having people purchase that. But there's no sense in me creating that until I'm getting traffic, until I'm getting a little bit of money from this easy, basic stuff, before I spend money and time doing massive stuff. So, my mom wishes to buy t-shirts, so we're going to be looking later. Excellent. Whoa! What time is it? 1 hour, 34 minutes. Our spammer from Twitch finally showed up. 1 hour and 32 minutes, 33 minutes. That's short. I mean, that's long. Usually they come in at about an hour, I think. I think maybe they're set to come in at a random time. But don't forget, the spammer from Twitch says best viewers on steamboo.com. Yes, thank you, spammer, for creating more comments and making my stream look good. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so you can see there are some results happening, and this is just YouTube. This does not include all the views I'm getting on all my other social medias. So, but this is the one that really matters to me, that I really want to build up. So we got this just extreme wall here from, 3,500 views to 43,000 views. And I kept it for a month, still in the tens of thousand views. So that's a win. I'm still depressed. And my wife has to keep basically hitting me over the head. No, you're doing something great. You're doing amazing stuff. So, yes, we will continue. We will see how it happens. I'm going to stop viewing this. Stop the share. Oh, there I am. So, creating that evergreen content, I think, is really important. And if you have something that's very visual, I think Pinterest might be a great place to be also. Just start making your pins, and the idea is you're linking from each pin you put up on Pinterest, you link back to something. The blog post, because bloggers are really great on using Pinterest. Maybe take them to your YouTube video where they can see the whole video. Maybe take them to your website where they can purchase the thing. Or just direct them to your Facebook group. Now, the only problem with Pinterest is they don't like it when you're just directing people to the same link every time. So I was giving out HR advice, and I was making a pin for that on Pinterest, but I was trying to funnel people to my sales page on my website to sell my $7 ebook. I would only have to do that, I could only do that like 3 times or something like that before Pinterest was like, this guy's just sending people to one piece of traffic. So I would have to more like send them to the post. So if I have say, for joy's sake, I make a post on my Facebook group page or my Facebook business page. So I've created a post. It's basically the same thing as what the pin is going to be. But the post says, hey, this stuff, here's an image and my paragraph or 2 of information. Well, after it's posted on the page on Facebook, you can share just the link to that post. So then you go over to Pinterest, you upload the image that was in the original post, and then you link to that post. You're not linking to your group as a whole. You're linking just to the individual post that you posted on that group. Then Pinterest is getting a different link, so they're not suspecting you of being a spammer, right? And that's how you're creating the evergreen content on the Pinterest. What else? Ideas. So you just got to be creative and start thinking. It's not only that you have to post a different image on Pinterest, but you also have to consider a different link. Now, you don't have to link to anything. You could just post your image. And then on your profile on Pinterest, you have the link to your group, to your store, to the sales page, whatever, to your website. That's where you want people to go. Then they can't click on the image on Pinterest. They wouldn't, like a lot of times people click on the image and that takes them to the blog post or the YouTube video or the group or whatever, right? It takes you away. Well, you wouldn't have that option with your individual pins posting. They would have to click on your name and follow you, go to your profile and click on your link to where you want to send everybody. That is not as effective. But if you just want to direct people to one place, that might be the way to go. You're not creating different things on your site. So when you're thinking of a blogger who's blogging about whatever, they create a new blog like daily or weekly, and they create an image for that blog, possibly a video for that blog. So from that blog, you're seeing an image, you might be redirected, or they may embed the YouTube video, but you may be directed to YouTube to watch that video. But now they're taking that blog post they've created, and they take that picture and they put it on Pinterest, and they're connecting to the individual blog post. And you may create 2 or 3 different images for that blog post and create 2 or 3 different pins. It's all directing to the same blog post, but it's got different images. That's okay. But you don't want to have 100 different images and they're all going to the same blog post. That's what they consider as like a spammy post, right? Keep it 2 or 3 to your new blog post or whatever. But that's the same thing you would do with like the Facebook group when you create a new post. You could do 2 or 3 images and they just direct to that Facebook group post. And I guess I got my TeePublic site where the t-shirts and the mugs and the stickers and things like that with my artwork are on it. Not that it's very good artwork, it's just funny HR stuff for the most part. But I could create a new piece of art and I could use the t-shirt page, the coffee mug page, the sticker page, the tapestry page, the cloth bag page, the magnet page, the flag page, or flag, I guess that's the tapestry, the magnet page, right? It's the same piece of artwork I just created, but there's different versions of that artwork page based on the different item I want to have that artwork on. So if TeePublic allows me to have 10 items with my one piece of artwork on, t-shirt, coffee mug, sticker, whatever, right? So that's 10 opportunities. So I take that image that's on the coffee mug and I take that image of the t-shirt. They show your t-shirt and what the t-shirt would look like with your image on it. They take the coffee mug and what your coffee mug would look like with the image on it. You take that image, you share it on Pinterest, but you could make multiple images. So I've got the image that TeePublic created. I've got the direct image that I created, and I could create another image related to it, right? And then I can create 2 or 3 Pinterest posts to my one item. So if I got 10 items that I can have my artwork on, and I do 2 or 3 different posts to each item, so I can do 2 or 3 posts on Pinterest just to the coffee mug with that image, and I can do 2 or 3 posts on Pinterest just to my t-shirt with that image on it, right? I can get 30 plus pieces of Pinterest content just for that one image I designed, right? So so we can get a lot of content when we want that content. What am I doing? I'm going to close out that. And I'm going to open a new window and share just my TeePublic store real quick. Not private window. Oh my god. Okay. TeePublic store. Oh, stupid thing. Let's make sure I'm in the store. Make sure I'm on the right window. So here's my TeePublic store, which is whited out for some bizarre reason. Okay, there's my TeePublic store. These are all designs I've created on here, and I just put them together as my thing, right? And I try to explain myself. I'm Canadian. I mean, tariffs, Trump. I feel like put a flag on there just in case. And these are the designs I created. Right, this one's kind of lame. I don't really like it. Anyway, so I'm HR. So I enjoy doing stuff like this. I am the Xmas office party. Just ask HR, right? So everybody knows you get in trouble at the office Christmas party and you end up in the HR's office, right? So that's the t-shirt. Well, as the TeePublic store owner, I can right click on that, open the image in a new window, and it's created the image for me. So I can save this image and I can go to Pinterest and I can create an image, create a pin that goes directly to this item. So I can highlight and keep the URL code, and that's where it's going to go. Okay, so that's my image. That's the image I created. This is it on a t-shirt. So you scroll down, and now, what is this bag? This is a new item. It's a new item. It's like a fanny pack bag with my image. I've never seen this before. This is awesome. So anyway, I can also, because, right, so we did the t-shirt, and I could also just take the image and connect it to the t-shirt. But now I can open this image in a new tab. Here's my fanny pack with my image on it. Obviously, if I've got that image on my fanny pack, I've probably got Mickey a booze in there, right? So I can take that image, create a Pinterest pin, but it's the same image, right? And we go down here and look at other stuff. Here's the coffee mug with the office party image on, with the elf, he's partying it up. It's the same image, but I can go in and collect this image, and I could do this image. I could do a carousel of the images on Pinterest and link to this page, right? I'm not just sending everybody to my TeePublic store, because can I go to the store? Here, right? You click on my name, IanTheHRPro, takes you back to my store. So I'm not just sending all my Pinterest traffic to IanTheHRPro. I'm sending them to individual items, and I got enough items here. Like I've created 120 designs, and I haven't sold a whole lot. This shows you how much I've sold and how much hasn't. But I am HR. I've sold that twice. Leaders win when the team wins. I sold one of those. Defund management, untie the hands of human resources. Sold one of those. Right, that's basically all I've sold on here. But it takes a long time. And I just create these silly images. And I'm using AI. I'm using Canva to help me create these images. And Canva will generate an image, or it'll have an image, right? When you're looking at like the shop local or die trying image, this was me creating a text. They already had the pin drop on Canva, and they already had this little skeleton head on Canva, and I just added them together and I created an image, right? So yeah, it's pretty awesome. But when it comes to making money on TeePublic, you've got to have hundreds to thousands of images. My peak last fall for the Christmas peak was basically those 4 purchases. I think I made I think I made $4 US, so that's like $6 for me. That was the peak, right? So if you're gonna go with TeePublic, man, you gotta get. But this is the sample. If I was really going hardcore, and my business was designing these T-shirts, these images for the T-shirts, then that's what I would do. I'd go to Pinterest, and I would create a pin for each of these products and put a neat description about the product or whatever, and it would just send people to my TeePublic store. And that's what I would do for if you have a YouTube Facebook group, create a pin about the post, not about your group, because you want to use a different URL every time as much as possible. Don't use the same URL more than 2 or 3 times, because Pinterest gets a little picky about that. But I have seen where someone creates 10, 20,000 pins and they continuously have traffic to their website, to their blog. I've seen that. I've seen the proof. I know it can work. But it takes time. It takes time, man. And when I'm thinking about creating content for for your regular social medias, the Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter X, Instagram. What else is there? I feel like I missed something. TikTok, right? Those ones, you could get away with creating the same piece of content and kind of rotating it because they're a little more short-lived. So let's say you create 20 images, 20 videos, and you start rotating them. That's 40 posts that you put in a rotation. Now you could do a new post every day and do image number 1, and then the next day video number 1, the next day image number 2, the 4th day video number 2, right? You could just keep up something simple like that. Every 40 days your content starts rotating. Now this is not a bad thing because not everybody is seeing your content. Like I've proven that with my LinkedIn. I got 12,000 people connected with me. First level connections. I can message them or buddy. Yeah, right. But only 50 to 200 of them are seeing my stuff. And is that the same 50 to 200 people seeing my content? Probably not. It's probably a completely different 50 to 200 people. So in reality, if I created one piece of content and posted it every day for a month, not all my followers are going to see that piece of content. So if you can create a stash of pre-made images, pre-made videos, just put them in a rotation. Now, you really want to try to get 3+ posts a day. So you want to continue making these pre-made images that you can rotate. And every time you start the rotation over, you've created another 5-10 posts, right? So now you just need to track on which image you're on and which video you're on, just keep tracking that. So then you don't repost too often, because everybody's worried that they're going to see the same content over and over. Well, if you watch my content, I'm basically talking about the same stuff all the time, whether it's on Monday or Tuesday or today on Wednesday. I end up talking about the same stuff. It's just with different inflections in my voice. Sorry about that. That's a doorbell again. Someone's coming in and out. So create a bunch of pre-made content. Now, if you're not doing lives like me and spending a little bit of money on the ability to make these shorts or whatever, right, just go out and just make your fundamental content, your images, your videos. Joy talks about making the video and just putting text on it. Okay, sit down one day and make like 20 of those, right? And then each week try to make a couple more. And then each day you've got this pre-made content that you can just copy and paste in or whatever. And you just go through the rotation. You did 3 images and you did 3 videos, and you're putting it in there. Some platforms might be written stuff, so you might want to make 20 different written posts and put those in the rotation. So you got every day you do image number 1, post number 1, video number 1. And if you have different amounts of those, I mean, that's going to start making, one day you'll be on image number 12, post number 3, video number 16, right? Like, so it'll mix it up naturally if you have different amounts of this pre-made stuff. You just need to track what you got or which one you're on, and then you're not posting the same thing day after day. But if you get 3 types of content and you're putting it out there every day, I mean, that's going to be good stuff. You're going to be in good shape. So just get creative with it. But if you can go live like this, it's part about building the community. So I don't know if Stephanie's still on watching or not, but we had a good back and forth. She was able to advance the show. My sister Joy, she's always on, and she always does a great job advancing the show when she's got something to say. Yeah, I think we're coming to the end. This was a long show. Hour and 57 minutes. I had nothing planned. I was dangerously unscripted, as I am every day. The new logo, dangerously unscripted. If you want to connect with me somehow, some way, you want to follow my links, all my links, the QR code takes you to my link tree, linktr.ee/IanTheHRPro. All my stuff is there, and I'm only mainly using this link tree now on the show, but there is a few places, the social medias, where I'm using it, but I'm really trying hard to direct people to my $7 ebook. That's my location. That's what I want people to go see. So, because I'm HR. That's the business I want to be in, right? So go there, check out my stuff. Oh, someone's chatting. Dangerously unscripted t-shirts. Oh my god. You know what? I didn't even think about building swag. This image I got right now that I created, I had ChatGPT create the bunny rabbit and the bear on the show, and I had to have it edit little things till it got to that. And it's basically the 2 sides of my persona. The bunny rabbit kind of derives from my last name, Hopfy, Hopper, Bunny. But he's also the cool guy who's trying to fit in because he's wearing the shades. He wants to be out there and doing stuff. But the bear is really more the personal side of me, the emotional side of me. Basically, you're thinking the big cuddly bear, right? So there's kind of the 2 sides in that image. Absolutely. Why isn't that now swag for the show. So I gotta go do that. I gotta go get that done, so then I can have some swag for this podcast. Nice idea. Thank you, Joy, my big sister. No, you do not get a kickback for that great idea. I stole that from you. I am now going to become a multimillionaire and just laugh at you at the next family dinner. No, that's not going to happen. I'm going to make a ton of money and maybe pay off a credit card. So, here's what she said. Dangerously unscripted t-shirts. Yes, I'll try to create that today, but I gotta go find some lunch. I'm starving. 2 hours. 2 hours and 1 minute. I'm gonna let everybody go. Tomorrow is Thursday. Career Club. We're gonna talk resumes, cover letters. So join me for that. It's boring as shit, but it's my show. I'm gonna talk about it. Okay.